Hey everyone, it's me, Pacific, and I'm gonna make this video. Um, it's predicated a lot on I'm 20 years old type stuff, and I have a couple things I've been doing for a long time, a couple things I haven't been doing for a long time, and it's just something I learned, and that is that there's way too much to learn. There's a lot to learn, there's an infinite amount of stuff to learn, and I have become uncomfortable being in a spot where I think I know everything. Let me explain. So, we'll do the martial art. The martial arts one's pretty easy for me to explain. So I've been doing it for 13 years, and what I've noticed is probably the past year and a half, as I've been training more and more and kind of exploring and competing and teaching, I've learned so much that, like, think of it as like if you could rate a scale on someone's level, right? I thought I was a level 5 out of 10, which for me would be average, right? Level 5 out of 10. And the more and more I learn, I'm like, hey, there's so much I don't know. I'm really like a level 4 out of 15, level 3 out of 20. That's where I'm at now. Like level 2 or 3 out of like 20. I'm definitely not level 1 or level 0, but where I thought I realized there was just so much more that I just don't know. Whether it's things like there's 7.7 billion people, everyone has a name. It's a lot of names to remember. Or I learned two different styles of martial arts or taekwondo, and the one style that I learned originally, there was still many, many, many nuances to it. Like an example is that some of the stances were more square than they are now. So now the way that I train, they're not as square. So this style, the not as square, I'm going to learn more, and I'm going to learn about it, the nuances and how to make it interact with all the different moves that I'm good at. And I'm not going to learn that square style anymore. I'm not going to know how to be a grandmaster at that style, and it's a little disappointing that I'm not going to learn everything, but I've accepted it, and so I'm just going to try my best to learn what I'm learning now, or I remember there was one time the organization I'm a part of is like 72 schools or something like that. I was like, wow, that's a lot. And then this guy's like, hey, there's an organization in the middle of the United States. And I was like, what? There's an organization in the middle of the United States? And it's like 243 schools. I'm like, what? How does it even work? And then I was like, kind of putting the pieces together that I kind of thought that shall we call it the real Taekwondo schools were just on the West Coast, basically everywhere in Korea, and some little places here and there. But no, it was more than that. Or the different, they call them pumses or forms. I learned that the forms that I thought were originally thousands of years old were really made in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And it's just something I had never explored, so I assumed. And I've just kind of learned to eliminate assumptions. And sorry if you guys hear that, that's my kitten. He's in timeout right now because he's been a bad boy. And I just learned to ask way more questions, and that I really don't know as much as I thought I did. And it kind of makes me a little nervous. YouTube, I learned many more nuances about different things about video editing that I never thought of before. How I present myself on camera. How to balance work and YouTube, different ways of, figuring that out. I mean, I could probably spend a whole lifetime telling you guys, just in the past 20 years, all the nuances of everything that I've ever learned. And it's really cool to me. It's cool to think about that there's that much information in the world, because I like information. One of the things I like doing is, right now when I'm teaching a new type of thing, which I'm leading demonstration team. It's very scary for me. It's cool watching the differences between that and a normal class. How to make it better, how to teach it better, how to, lead the demo team better. And then I'm like, well, how do I do that? And, figuring out how trying things out, and I'm, failing or succeeding and adjusting. It's all just kind of like, whoa, this is cool. And I hope that for me, I don't stop being in this state. Like, I understand being an expert in a field, right? I understand that there's that I could be considered an expert in shooter games, honestly, because I've played so many shooter games. Things like how to get your accuracy better, map control, freaking everything. Whether or not I'm an expert in Rainbow Six Siege or Halo or Call of Duty is a different story. But an in general expert in shooter games, heck yeah. I could teach you how to be a professional, in general, shooter games player, right? I could do that. But I still think I know almost next to nothing about shooter games. Like, I know that there's so much more for me to learn, So I just wanted to make this video. I think this would be cool for me to look back on in like 30 years. Hello, 50-year-old me. Or 20 years, or even next year. I found a paper I wrote 2 years ago. It was like my goals and ambitions, and I was such a different person back then. And I'm like, whoa, it blew my mind. I knew it was a thing where every kind of year I can look back and like, I was 19. Look at how stupid I was. And I think at 17, I was like, I'm going to turn 18 and think I was stupid at 17. Because at 17, I think I was stupid at 16. 16, I think I was stupid at 15. I was like, this is a thing. And I remember making that decision. That was cool. Because when I turned 18, I was like, man, I know so much more when I was 17. Oh, I called it. So, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm Pacific, and this is my life. I'm letting you in. Thank you for watching once again. I'll see you in the next video.